Welcome to Growth Stage. Can you please give a warm welcome for our MC this morning? From Invest HK, please welcome Charles.
Hi everyone, good morning. Good morning, I'm Charles Singh. I'm Associate Director General at Invest Hong Kong. It's the government department in charge of helping foreign companies set up in Hong Kong. We're really excited here. I hope you didn't have, you still don't have any hangover from last night's soccer game and after parties. This is a very exciting morning. As you know, when you come here to Rise to listen to a lot of companies that have made it and have a great future in front of them. And this section here is the Growth Summit, which is basically featuring a lot of great growth companies you're going to hear throughout the day. We are going to start with the whole companies in the Saas business and Saas enterprise. And I'd like to introduce you to a company, you're going to hear also from different companies other than Saas, but in innovation and technology, as well as money, fintech, and so on and so forth. But to start with, I'd like to introduce you to a company that simplifies time cloud communication, sharing what it takes to ensure first-class connectivity to more than 190 countries. Please give a warm welcome to Wavecell CEO Olivier Gerhardt. Olivier.
So good morning. So I'm going to share with you the trend around customer communication. But first, let me ask you a few questions, or some questions. How many of you would be ready to receive their one-time password on their phone on either WhatsApp or WeChat instead of by SMS? So how many of you would prefer receiving their food delivery notification on one of those chat apps, WhatsApp, WeChat, rather than SMS? No? Who would prefer engaging with a customer service officer while buying fashion product on a website over WeChat or WhatsApp? So as you can see, we all have different expectations when it comes to communicate with a customer service or a service provider or a brand. And communication channel may be very different from a use case to another. So I'm Olivier Gerhardt, the CEO co-founder of Wavecell, a cloud communication platform in Asia Pacific. And at Wavecell, what we do is we simplify and we build the future of communication, and we simplify the communication for businesses. We have 200 businesses around Asia Pacific, Southeast Asia, North Asia, who trust Wavecell and use Wavecell communication platform to engage with their clients. We have a presence over 5 countries, from Singapore to Hong Kong, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. So the thing is, consumers are continually in either buying or conversation mode. With the rise of mobile ownership, usage of mobile, businesses need really to adapt to this reality, meaning carefully choosing platform, communication channel that work best depending on the context and the use case to keep customers satisfied on the go. So there is a need to go beyond customer service and put customer centricity at the heart of your business's culture to create a truly outside-in approach. And that's the reason why most of the brands, e-commerce players, logistic, transport, payment platform use Wavecell to engage with the clients using one of the communication channels that we build, SMS, chat apps, voice, video interaction. So some of the traditional to training communication technology, traditional ways for customers to communicate with businesses have been first face-to-face meeting, but that was mainly for retail businesses, phone call and email. But the thing is, with smartphone connectivity, there are new channels that complement very well traditional communication technology. From social media to SMS, in-app notification, those channels complement very well email. Live chats, live video call, messaging platform, bots complement very well a phone call. But the thing is, do we need to open all these channels to follow the trend? what is key to understand is first the context, the use case, and what are the customer needs and expectation. We've got three, I would say, typology of use case. The first one is, as a consumer, I need the information right now. I don't need to make any effort. I need it instantly. In that case, the SMS would be the most appropriate channel to send relevant information instantly. And it's secured, and this is the most universal channel across all the mobile devices, with an opt-in rate above 95%. In the second use case, I want more engagement, and this is something very new. How do I engage with my brands, with my service providers, over one of those chat apps? And those chat apps basically help businesses to engage with their clients by enriching the communication and creating more interaction. And this is what those chat apps basically bring to the brands and help them to create more value to their clients. In the third use case, as a consumer, I've got a more complex problem to solve. I need some support, I need assistance, I need advice. And in that case, the face-to-face interaction would be the most appropriate channel. And that's the reason why I would use a video interaction, a video call with a human touch to potentially have someone helping me addressing the problem. And as a business, with video interaction, I can also increase my customer satisfaction, as I can reduce the time to assist my clients. So now let's come back on the customer engagement. As a brand, how do I engage with my clients? As you can see on the map, the messaging apps, the chat apps ecosystem is very well fragmented with several dominant players, even across a few countries. If you look at Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, where WhatsApp would be the dominant player. In some countries such as Vietnam, Philippines, that would be more Facebook Messenger. And with some local apps, messaging apps in Vietnam, such as Allo. While China will be obviously WeChat, and Hong Kong a mix of WhatsApp and WeChat. So this is something that is very well fragmented, with a lot of different players, a lot of different rules. And when it comes to engaging with clients around the world or in specific region, I need, as a brand, as a global or regional brand, I need to be able to interact over all those channels with also the SMS, once again, as the only one universal channel available on all the devices. And this is what we do at Wavecell. So basically, we have a cloud communication platform in the middle, and we have connected all those chat apps, but also the telecom operators to simplify the telecom complexity, the communication, and provide a single API access to all those chat apps. But more than that, to orchestrate the communication between the chat apps and the SMS when it comes to having a failover when the user is not available on one of those chat apps. So this is the value that we bring to our clients across Asia Pacific, helping them to either engage with the user, communicate, or converse. So some of the key takeaways when it comes to communication, obviously, customers of today are demanding instant, but more than that, personalized customer experience. So don't pile up new communication technology blindly. Ensure that they fit your business and your customer experience, and understand very well what is your customer experience expectation, how you're gonna offer them a very good customer experience, and answer their needs. Then don't forget to automate as much as you can for a simple use case. Select the communication channel best fitted for the type of info and the urgency. And then don't forget human interaction, and explore new technology that can enrich the interaction, such as live video interaction, conversation through messaging app, chatbots. Thank you.
So Up next, we have a graphic design software solutions provider that helps users to design presentations, social media, and more. Sharing their mission to simplify the process of graphic design, please welcome to the stage Canva co-founder Cameron Adams. Cameron.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Cameron Adams. I'm the co-founder and chief product officer at Canva. We're a startup from Sydney, Australia. And earlier this year, we actually became the first unicorn to exist in Sydney, Australia as well. Our tagline is design anything, publish anywhere. And that's 4 words that seem very simple, but they actually carry a large range of breadth and depth. Our mission is to empower the world to design. And that means that we're trying to make design accessible to everyone in the world, regardless of their abilities or their access to technology. The phrase design anything carries a lot of meaning in there. So design anything means that we want to offer a tool that anyone in the world can access with any level of design education, and they should be able to take their idea and make it a reality. The publish anywhere part is really focused on the fact that any design actually has a life outside of itself. Any design that you create is in aid of some job that you need to get done or some message that you want to send out. So our goal at Canva is not only to help you design your idea, it's also to take that idea to its fruition. That could be posting on a social media network. It could be presenting on a screen in front of a crowd of people. It could be putting it up as a website for the entire world to see. So we believe that creating this end-to-end experience is really important. And when we started 6 years ago, the design scene was very different to what it is now. It was broken up into a bunch of different niches that use very specific professional tools to get design happening. So we had things like stock photo libraries, we had layout libraries where you'd have to go and download a layout. You'd have to go to a font library to download your fonts. And then you'd have to find a piece of software like Photoshop or InDesign to put all that stuff together. And it required you to have the knowledge to do that and the experience of working with that software in order to produce something beautiful. Then you might send that around to a few people over email, put it in Dropbox, get some comments. You'd have to put it into a PDF, get those comments, get the feedback, bring it in, change the design, and then eventually you might have something at the very end of it. Our key innovation was to take all of that and condense it down into one product. So within Canva, you can access free images, paid images, different fonts, different layouts, bring them together into a really simple experience, and we help you get out something that you're proud of and something that expresses your ideas and your vision. This is a mission that has really captured the minds of the world. So we released our product 5 years ago, and since then we've had over 10 million active customers, and each of those customers contributes to 53 million designs created a month. That's actually 20 designs per second, if you can kind of count that fast. I remember when we started out, I created this real-time visualization that used little bouncing drops every time someone created a design. And in the very early days, we used to get probably about 1 or 2 a minute. And gradually, those sped up. And I think my really crappy code broke at around 5 designs a second because we were getting so much data coming in. But it's nice to talk about these big metrics, but really for us, it's about the stories behind each of those individual designs. And it's amazing to see when you drill down the stories behind someone creating a design and what it's helped them achieve. We've seen people use Canva to create the branding for their Sunday market stall down at their local community. We've seen people use Canva to grow their very first business from 0 revenue to over $1 million in revenue. We've seen people inside really big corporations start using Canva because it makes their job easier. And then they've shared it with one of their colleagues and another colleague and another colleague. And eventually their entire team has started using it. We're really passionate about nonprofits, and it's amazing how Canva has helped them out too. We've got customers such as Amnesty International and the Smith family who have used Canva to amplify their message, get their team on board, create really consistent and beautiful graphics that they can share, and have helped help their organizations find more volunteers and bring in more donations. One of our really crazy big goals of last year was to take Canva, which was mainly in English, and put it in 100 different languages around the world. And this contributed massively to our growth over the last couple of years. It was a mammoth task, and we managed to squeeze in on December 20th of last year just to hit our goal, which was really pleasing. But the effect that we've seen this have on our customer base has been incredible. So when we started out very early on, in Australia, you can't really think about the local market because it's much too small to service and become a really, really big company. So we're thinking global from day one. And on our very first day, America was our biggest market, and it stayed like that for a very long time. We don't actually have anyone on the ground in the US, but the nature of our product makes it very easy to pick up and very easy for people to recommend and spread by word of mouth. When we started this initiative to add in 100 different languages inside Canva, we targeted a few of the key markets, and over that time, our US growth has continued to improve really steadily, but the growth in all other parts of the world has improved exponentially. So even here in Asia, I think Indonesia and India have been really popular markets for us. But one of our most pleasing markets has been Brazil, which has just exploded. In the last 6 months, we launched our Android app, which opened up a whole new market for us. It enabled a really mobile design experience, and particularly in Brazil, because of their culture and their technical usage there. Most of them are on Android phones. And in the past 6 months, Brazil has just gone crazy for us. As we've kind of built up the company and become relatively successful, it's given us a bit of flexibility to really understand where we want to go as a company and where we want to take the product. The culture of the company is really important to us. One of my favorite startup quotes is from the founders of SoundCloud. And they said that they originally started out trying to make a great product that would help people. And as they made that great product, they started to understand that they were really making a great company that could make a great product. And as they focused on making a great company, they finally understood that they were actually making a great culture that could support their great company and help them make a great product. And I think that is kind of the key to making a really successful and scalable startup, particularly as you go from 3 people sharing an office with a bunch of other companies up to 300 people across multiple buildings as we are now. One of our key cultural values is being a force for good. And what that means is that we want to make a positive impact on the world, and we want to leave the world better off than when we started. For us, it's not just about making money, although that's a very happy circumstance. For us, it's really about helping anyone, anywhere in the world, communicate their idea, get their message out, and improve their lives as well. We action this on kind of many different levels. We work at both the individual level of people working in our company. We also help the community around us, around where our office is and where our staff live. We also work on a global scale through our product and also through the decisions that our company makes. A good example of this is a couple of weekends ago, one of our staff was really interested in helping people in our local community who weren't as fortunate as us. And they organised with a local charity called Oz Harvest to cook some meals for homeless people. And they put the call out, and 50 of our staff came in on a Saturday, and we all started cooking and chopping and stirring. And on that day, we ended up making over 1,000 meals that were distributed to the community around us for people in need. That was amazing to see that many people rally around that cause, and for our company to be associated with that, and for Canva to be able to help in some small way the people around us. It extends also further abroad into our product. So we have a not-for-profit program which we use to bring on charities and not-for-profit organizations, and we give them free access to our subscription package, which is called Canva for Work. And Canva for Work helps you build your brand, create your brand, and get your team onto Canva and start creating consistent, shareable content amongst a big group of people. And we now have over 20,000 not-for-profits now using that program. And I was fortunate enough to be at a conference a few weeks ago that was purely focused on nonprofits. And it was amazing to connect with those people. And I asked how many people in the room actually use Canva, and almost 80% of them put their hand up. And talking to them afterwards, it was amazing to hear the stories of how Canva had helped them amplify their message, get their vision out to the world, and help them find volunteers and donations that could further them in their mission. At the end of the day, we are a very deep technology company. We started off with a very rich understanding of our product and how the technology fed into that. And we've continued to do that as we've grown the company. We now have close to 130 engineers working on the product, and they work in many very different areas. Some in the very rich graphical user interface, and some very deep in the back end working on our search and recommendation algorithms, and all the huge masses of data that we have to collect as people upload their images and their fonts and start creating designs. There's an incredible number of areas that we can go into broadly. So as we've started moving into areas like presentations and animations and websites, as we explore those areas, we find more and more things in which we can help with our philosophy of making design simple. And as we've grown, we've kind of increased our capabilities in machine learning, which has been a really interesting aspect of the company over the last year, and has helped us understand that we can help people create great designs through machine learning and through data science. And that's one of the areas that I'm really interested in this year, and that's one of the areas that we'll be focused on. There's an incredible other number of areas in which we're growing. Unfortunately, I don't have time to talk about those today, but I hope you got a bit of value out of listening to me today, and thank you.